Hey!
Hey, I'm CJ,
And I'm Robin.
and welcome to the Kozy Kitchen.
Come and make yourself comfortable here with us by the fire.
Let's chat about baking, friendship, and cozy hobbies. And if there's time and enough tea, maybe we'll even unravel some traumatic backstories.
I mean, there should always be enough tea.
Hey, Robin.
Hi, CJ. How you doing?
Good. It's been cold where I am.
Oh my gosh, I know it's been so cold here. I think we're going to be in the negatives for the low temperatures today. And I woke up and our thermostat said that it was a balmy 65 degrees inside. So it's very cold. How cold is it for you?
Outside it's 26, so
Ooh,
it's below freezing, and so I am just inside with hot tea trying to warm
lovely.
up.
I know. That's the name of the game these days. I feel like at the time of this recording, almost the whole country basically is getting pummeled with Snowmageddon 2026. So, what better a way to introduce today's topic than with the weather? But I thought we could talk to a little bit today about how we get warmed up with our bakes. Like do you want to bake anything on a nice cozy cold day like today? What kind of flavors do you crave in like the winter season in general? So I don't know, where do you want to start with all of this?
Yeah, let's talk about flavors because, like, wintertime, it's always for me like the spices.
Yes.
Cinnamon is an absolute spice that reminds me of winter. Um,
Hmm.
Having the smell of yeasted breads also, that is very, like, warm and comforting for me.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I very much agree. Anything with, like you said, cinnamon, cloves, cardamom, ginger. This time of year, I love having a lot of spiced options around. I also love adding in some notes of fruitiness throughout. So anytime I'm making anything with like cinnamon and nutmeg and everything, I also love to have orange zest in there as well because I feel like the flavors complement each other so beautifully. And so, I really like to look for opportunities where I can have combinations of flavors. Same thing with I love having chocolate around this time of year. That's such a
Mhm.
comforting, warming flavor, and I love pairing it with espresso. First of all, because the espresso powder offsets the chocolate, it meets the sweetness and the bitterness, and just I don't know. I feel like they help each other out with flavors. Also, like nice flaky pastries or very dense cakes. Either one of those are just
Mhm.
very much up my alley. And I don't know, just when you're feeling chilly, it's really nice to have something that is like nice and warm and bubbling away in the oven, and it makes your space smell really nice. So I love the coziness.
Yeah, so, like, we're past the holidays right now when we're at
Mhm.
the time of this recording, and how does it differ, like, your winter bakes during the holidays and then after the holidays? Like, we're on just
Ooh.
a weekend, just, any random weekend in the winter and it's cold outside and you want to feel cozy. Like, how does it differ?
I feel like for me at least, there's a lot less pressure to make the bakes look really nice. And for me, the focus is all on maybe experimenting, trying something different, and kind of expanding my horizons a little bit more. So, it might be that I experiment with something that is, um, I don't know, just has like a different flavor, a different cooking technique. So for me, it's not necessarily the flavors themselves that are different. It might just be the recipe itself. Maybe I'm trying something different, or I'm attempting something that I don't usually get to work on when the holidays are so busy. Now it's, I don't have anybody over. I can kind of just have fun with my bakes right now. And I would like to pose the same question to you. What kinds of things that you bake during the winter just on a random January, February weekend? What are the things that you do differently now versus when you bake for the holidays?
Yeah, I think I'm the same way with you. Like, I don't worry too much about presentation. Like, if it
Mhm.
turns out kind of funny looking, I'm not too worried. So the pressure is definitely off. It's really just, as you said, experimentation and just like
Mhm.
for your own pleasure, you know, like what do you want to eat? And
Exactly.
I'm definitely of the, you know, I like to experiment and find out and push boundaries really.
Yeah.
See if I could do something I hadn't done before.
I love that. And I think that what's fascinating to me is that we're in the new year, and the new year is all about trying new things. But also, when we start our new year, we are in the dead of winter. As far as nature goes, things don't really start coming back to life until spring. So, right now, we're still very much in the season of being very purposeful, taking things slower, not necessarily hitting the ground running. And I feel like our winter bakes can reflect that. We can take our time with understanding a technique better. Like nature is still asleep. And I think it's okay that we transfer that kind of energy into our baking. We can do something that's a little bit slower, that's a little bit more, like encouraging us to enjoy this time where we don't have to be bouncing off the walls like crazy. I don't know if that's making any sense, but that's kind of where my brain is at.
Yeah. So like this like so we mentioned the weather now
Mhm.
for both of us is cold. Like if you had to bake something today, what would you bake?
That's a good question. I have some sheets of puff pastry in the freezer, and I bought
Mhm.
them for the holidays, and I just never ended up using them.
Mhm.
So I'm going to use them today. I also have some leftover chopped nuts that I never made for my rogola.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to be using some leftover pieces today
Mm.
with the puff pastry. I'm going to put that on top of a chicken pot pie.
Mm.
Because when you think of needing something that warms you up from the inside out, chicken pot pie is definitely up there. And I am making it with meat, but you could also, if you it, like, I could do a vegetarian version as well, just by
Mhm.
excluding the chicken and only using, like chickpeas. Oh crap! I forgot to get bouillon. Sorry, I went to the grocery store yesterday and I forgot to put bouillon in my list.
Oh no.
That was very random, but I gotta put that in my
We need
phone
an episode on that.
because I ran out of vegetable bouillon and chicken bouillon, and now we're just bouillon-less. Uh,
Well,
anyway,
I
sorry.
think that's a really good thing that we could talk about in a separate episode is like how do you like improvise when you don't have the tools or the ingredients? Like what do you do?
Yeah, yeah, no, that's definitely gonna be coming up because, like, I feel like, the cardinal rule of baking, especially if you are a new baker, you're just getting into the hobby of it, is, before you even begin to bake, you get out every single ingredient and make sure that you have it in the quantities that you need it before you even take, like a spoon to a bowl. That is what you need to do. But I also have so that's one box of puff pastry. The other box of puff pastry I'm gonna be using to make apple turnovers because
Mm.
talk about like spices and feeling warm from all that. And also, I have a Granny Smith apple that has been sitting in my fruit bowl for like weeks, and she's gotta go. She needs to be
Oh my god, I have a similar Granny Smith sitting there and
no
it's
way.
looking sad too.
Well, because 'cause they're so sour and they're bitter and you don't wanna eat them on their own
Yeah.
usually, and so I always just save them for baking, and now that was weeks ago, and she's looking at me like, "Hey,
Yeah.
get on this.
Yep. Yep.
Help me."
I
What
have
about
those and then I have like two sprouting onions.
Oh, no. Do you whenever you have onions that are sprouting or potatoes that are, like they're sprouting with their roots and everything, do
Mhm.
you still use them? That's I
Really?
would like to ask. Okay, because I use them too, but
Mhm.
I'm also like, I feel weird about it, and I don't know why.
I mean, I feel like it's just, I just cut off anything that's, like, kind of, like, exhausted. Um,
Mhm. Yeah, that's what I do too, and I'm sure that if you look online, I'm sure there are guidelines from the FDA about, like, here's the vegetables that you really shouldn't be eating if they're doing XYZ. So, and let me ask you, what is it that you would like to bake, while the weather is cold? Is there anything you're looking forward to putting in the oven?
It's so okay, it's just funny. I just flew, so I'm actually away from home right now,
Mhm.
and I flew with carry-on
Mhm.
a frozen beef Wellington that I made.
Oh my god. Like the
Um,
whole thing? Like the whole
yes,
like,
like
it's got
I
like a
mean, it was
tartuffe around it and
like maybe the size of like a large tennis ball.
oh my
Um,
gosh. Amazing.
and this is like solid frozen puck. I actually had sauce that goes with it, like a red wine reduction. I froze that and got
Mhm.
through security as well, because that's not a liquid when
Wow.
it's solid.
That's true. That's true. It's yeah, you can freeze it and then you're good to go.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
then I also brought a vegetarian meat pie.
Ooh.
And so that's for lunch today. I am baking those.
I love that, and I love that you're, like, on your kick of, like, British cuisine, it sounds like, you know, because a meat pie, that's very British, and I'm curious, like, what inspired that for you? Like, was there a specific thing that made you really want those flavors, those kinds of dinners or dishes or anything?
I love a good period drama, and I've been rewatching the Poldark series.
Ooh, I don't think I've heard of that one yet.
It's actually based off a book, and I it's like a drama romance series in takes place in Cornwall in England. And
Wow.
that series has a lot of these savory pies. Every
Oh.
time I see it, I'm like, "Oh my god, I need to make that."
I'm looking it up now. This looks like a great show. It says it's set between 1781 and 1801.
Yes.
Oh, this is right up my alley. Oh my goodness.
Yes, I check it out.
Mhm.
I haven't read the books, but the series is great.
Nice.
And well, series up through season 4, season 5, it veers off. It's not based off the book after that.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I in that series, a lot of savory pies, and it just mouth-watering to see.
I mean, that makes sense because that would have been the time period for it because pies would have been both filling and also easy to carry. And if you are somebody who is like maybe you're working a lot, you're just trying to get to your job or anything, like that would be a very easy thing to just be able just to pop in your mouth and eat. So
Yeah.
that sounds lovely. Speaking of period pieces, Bridgerton is apparently coming back sometime soon. I don't know when, and I don't know if you've seen Bridgerton.
I
Um,
have. I've seen first season, I enjoyed it, s kind of fell off on the 2nd season.
that's fair, that's fair, and that's another one where the focus is not on the food necessarily, but it's in my opinion, I think, as much of the backdrop as the beautiful costumes that they have.
Mm,
They are period inaccurate for sure, like, these are not I don't think anybody should be studying Bridgerton for a very accurate portrayal of historical costumes, but,
yes.
they also do have some really beautiful food that gets featured in the
Mhm.
series. And so I'm gonna keep a lookout for some pies in
Yeah.
this in the next season, because yeah, I enjoy it. I tried reading the first book. In my humble opinion, it was really, really, really bad. I didn't like it.
I yeah, I haven't tried, and I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's I got to a part, and I won't say it for spoilers, but just I got to a part where one of the characters is interrupting as like a duel, and in the book, it's just she shouts no, and it's like with like one capital N and like 17 capital O's, and then like six question or six exclamation marks after it, and that's where I hit it, and that's where I was like, hmm, no, this isn't
My
for
word
me.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, "I can't take this seriously," and maybe that was my problem, maybe I shouldn't have taken it that seriously in the first
Mhm.
place, maybe that was my issue, I expected too much. But, anyway, we're getting off track.
Yeah.
Your I feel like your pies and everything sound wonderful. Did they make the flight okay? Did they make the journey alright?
I think so. I had it in an insulated bag, and it was only like a 2.5-hour flight, so it wasn't that long. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, and being insulated, that should help a lot.
yeah, yeah, like the sauce, the frozen sauce was my ice pack.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's see, that's inventive. So those are gonna be the things that you bake while you are in your new space while you're traveling. Are you gonna, like, bake anything from scratch while you're there, or do you have the implements that you need to do any baking like that?
So that's interesting. I don't have anything here except for an oven. So I don't have a stand mixer. I don't have, well, I don't even have ingredients because usually my kitchen would be stocked with flour, butter, eggs. Those are like very standard. Like I always have those on hand if I want to bake. So I would need to procure all the ingredients and
Mhm,
then work with what I have, which is not like I don't even think I have a baking pan. Like if I wanted
mhm,
to say make apple pie,
mhm.
I don't even have a pie pan. So I would need a pie pan. Um if I wanted to make the pie dough, I don't have a food processor, so I can't do that because I like to make the dough with a food processor where you just have the
Yeah.
butter and you just spin it around and
Well, and
it's
it's so much easier to do it with a food processor. You can do it by hand, but I think that if you do, it's like you constantly have to be, like, keeping it refrigerated and everything. Because the
Mhm.
the whole reason why it's flaky is because that butter is allowed to be kept mostly solid, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. So, yeah,
So,
it's
I don't know, I want to, cause like, I've got a real oven here,
mm,
but it'll be interesting. Yeah, I'll have to do, like,
mhm.
a whole like, we could talk about baking while traveling.
Yeah, like, how do you make do with what you've got or with a minimal amount of ingredients, and how do you make the most out of a very out of very little, basically?
Yes, yes.
And, like,
Improvise.
how do you kind of continue making things when you're used to the electrical implements and you just got your 2 hands that good Lord gave you? So, yeah, I feel like that's a whole other episode, but how will you reheat your beef Wellington without the baking tray? Like, or do you will you have, like, a plate or something to
Um, I have, like, a there are, there's some stoneware I think that I can use.
Okay.
So, I may just put that in there and bake it that way.
Yeah, that sounds good. I wonder if you could get, like, some aluminum foil or something
Oh,
and
that's a
just
good idea.
just you maybe, like, make a little makeshift tray from that perhaps, like, maybe
Yeah,
double up on the bottom of it, but,
right.
like, I don't know, you could
That's
you
a good
could
idea.
get innovative and I don't know. Just that would be challenging to bake in a kitchen where you don't have all of your normal accoutrement.
Yep,
I feel like that would
yep.
be, in some ways, I think, kind of a fun challenge, because I feel like for me, baking in the winter months, it serves a dual purpose, right? It's like it makes, it obviously you get the baked good and it's delicious, but also it does warm your space up quite a bit.
Mhm.
So you get the multi benefit of having something delicious to eat, warming up your space, making it smell delicious. So yeah, I feel like however you do it, it'll be great. And I'm sure you're gonna make your space smell really nice, and you're gonna have something delicious, and you'll warm up.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
So, I keep thinking back to your apple turnovers. Tell me
Mm.
how you make those.
Alright, so those honestly, the because the flaky pastry dough is already done for me, I don't need to do a whole lot more,
Mhm.
and controversial opinion, there are certain things that they make for delicious bakes that I do not make myself. So, that includes phyllo dough. If I've ever made baklava in the past, I don't make my own phyllo dough because it is a pain in the ass to do, and I know that I said about, like, how winter is a perfect time to slow down and do new techniques, and actually, that was what I did, and when winter passed, was I did I spent basically an entire Saturday, and I had a very chill, slow day, and I just made phyllo dough the whole day, or phyllo dough.
Mhm.
I don't know how you say it, but that's what I did, and I did it once, and now I don't wanna do it ever again.
Yeah.
I know how to do it,
Yep.
and now I'm good.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
so it's the same thing with puff pastry. Sometimes it's even the same with pie crust. I just don't make my own. So with the apple turnovers, the puff pastry is already made. I have it defrosting in my fridge right now. So I will just, take my apples, slice the peels off. And I don't like to have big chunks of apples. I prefer for my apple slices to be almost paper thin.
Mm,
And going back to our mandolin talk
yeah,
an episode or two ago, I don't want to do that. I'll just use a knife.
yeah.
Um, but I slice them very, very thin. I will probably give them a good rub down in some brown sugar
Mhm,
and all my spices, probably a little bit of orange zest.
mm,
And I don't even think I'm going to put butter because the puff pastry's already got so
yeah,
much butter.
yeah.
So I'm just going to probably layer that into the puff pastry
Mhm,
and seal it up, kind of like a Pop Tart. And then I will put it in the oven. And once it's done, I want to make maybe like a glaze for it.
mm.
Um, wait, no, I can't. I don't have powdered sugar.
Oh, no!
How do you make glaze without powdered sugar? I mean, I could. Here's what I could do if I felt so inclined, and I don't. But if I felt so inclined, I probably could take granulated sugar and
Mhm,
put it in the food processor and just process it until it got a lot finer.
mhm.
But no, I don't feel like doing it
Yeah.
today.
Well, you could just sprinkle sugar on.
Well, actually, you know what? I do have these apple cider sugar crystals,
Uh,
and they're sweet, but they've got a tang to them, but they're
uh-huh.
really good on like apple pie and things like that.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna sprinkle that on. Just
Yeah.
wash some butter,
Yep.
sprinkle that on,
Yep.
and that is gonna I think that's gonna be good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds
So
great.
yeah, I think that that'll be good. And I think the other thing actually that I would love to ask you about because we talked about how nice it is to have something hot to eat during cold months.
Mhm.
And I would love to know, because whenever you want something hot to eat, sometimes you also want something hot to drink. And I would love to know if you could have a nice tea time,
Mhm.
like going back to the period dramas and everything where tea time was, especially in places like England and a lot of places in Great Britain in general, that was a very prevalent part of their day. And I would love to know if you could make a tea time, what tea would you choose? And what kinds of cookies, pastries, etc. would you like to have along with your tea?
This is such a great question because I have been thinking about this recently because, I have these neighbors, I wanna invite over, and I want them to come during the day and not, like, for dinner or something. I was like, I would love to just, like, do a afternoon tea session with them.
Yeah.
So here's my plan.
Mhm.
All the tiered trays would come out. So I'd
Oh,
have
yes.
tiered trays with, like, tea sandwiches. So first, like, starting off with the savory, there would be tea sandwiches of various flavors, maybe like cream cheese and cucumber slices with chives.
Delicious. Maybe some dill.
Yes, maybe some, and then definitely no crust on those things. Like, those have
Yes.
to be dainty, and small, perfectly cut, bite-sized.
Mhm.
Let's see, I would make probably some deviled eggs, like,
Ooh. Yeah, that would be delicious.
um, then it would just like, it wouldn't be a whole ton of savory things. I might make some, like, little, I guess, like, pastries.
Mhm.
I haven't thought about it. Oh, you know what? I would make a savory pie for the
Ooh.
table, like, kind of
Mhm.
almost like a cake centerpiece, but then it would be savory.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Oh, that would be wonderful. Would it have, like, mostly veggies in it, or would you do, like, a fake, like, Beyond Meat kinda situation?
there are so many options. So the one that's coming to mind right now is a leek and potato.
Oh. Oh, shut up. That sounds so good.
Yeah, I've made it before, it's really good, and that sounds like a good option for the table.
Mhm.
And then I would definitely make a cake. So the one that I'm thinking about is this delicious malted chocolate cake that I have dreams of.
Ooh, a malted chocolate cake. That sounds really
Yes,
good.
with, like, toasted marshmallows. I think I've
Ooh.
told you about this one before. I've
Mhm.
made it a few times, and it is like crack. I go back to it every like, I'm
Yes,
always thinking about, if I'm
mhm.
gonna make a cake, that's the cake I'm gonna make.
I
Um,
remember now. I remember you telling me about this. It sounds so decadent. Like, just yeah, 10 out of 10, great accompaniment. And what kind of tea would you serve?
oh, yes, the
Mhm,
tea. Like, I have a collection of tea,
mhm.
and this particular one is called, I think it's like Imperial Prince Vladimir Imperial Tea. It's like a black
Ooh.
tea, but it has, like, bergamot in it. It's very floral with citrusy, and it's by this brand called Kusmi Tea. It's French, I believe, and it's so beautiful. The fragrance is just like,
Mhm.
I love it. So I would bring out my little teapot with little butterflies and like flowers on it. The
Mhm.
teacups with the saucers would come out.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that sounds so lovely. Oh my goodness. Oh, I can picture it now, and it would just be like I could picture you sitting by, like, a roaring fireside, and you're, like, surrounded by books, and there are soft, squishy armchairs nearby, and maybe you've got, like, a nice, like, blanket draped across your lap, and just, like,
Yep.
candles, and oh my goodness. Oh, yes.
Yes.
I've
Yes.
painted the picture in my mind, and it's beautiful.
Probably would add in some more, like, smaller desserts as well, probably little tarts or something, kind of apple tarts
Mm,
or something, but I
that would be
want this whole table, the spread to be, like, just filled with bite-sized delicious things.
well, because that's it, right? I feel like with tea time, like, you don't want something that's super heavy, like,
Mhm,
you it's kind of nice to have something that you can just nibble on as you drink your tea, and you can chat, or you can read a book or something, like, I don't know if tea time is for to me, at least, tea time is not like a meal, it's, like, it's a time to nosh and a time to sip some tea, and, I don't know, it just that sounds just delightful, CJ, I love it.
What about you, Robin? Like, how would you envision, like, what type of teas do you drink for coziness?
Ooh.
How would you envision a tea time?
Well, I am also a tea drinker. I love a lot of different teas. And right now, the one that I've been drinking is actually the winter wake up tea from Trader Joe's.
Uh-huh.
And it's very cinnamon forward. And
Mhm,
there's also like a sweetness that
mhm,
hits you right at the end.
mhm.
And it's like I can't really describe it. It's almost a little too sweet for me. It's almost
Mm,
like a sickly sweet kind of taste at the back of my
mhm,
throat.
mhm,
But I have been enjoying that. So normally I do for winter, I do enjoy a lot of black teas. There's also like a vanilla chai that I really have been enjoying, and I don't remember. It's like just a regular tea that you get from the grocery store. I don't remember the brand name of it,
mhm,
but I've been really enjoying that. And but also I like to kind of mix it up a little bit
mhm,
because jasmine tea is honestly one of my absolute favorites.
mm,
When we lived in Palo Alto, I went with my dad and brother and my partner one time, and we all went down to Chinatown in San
uh-huh,
Francisco,
mhm,
and we found a tea shop where I discovered this jasmine pearl tea,
mhm,
and it was so good. It was light, it was floral, it was refreshing.
mhm,
Um, so yeah, I feel like for winter time though, I think I would prefer something that was a little bit more like spiced and
mhm,
dark and maybe not quite like a green tea. So yeah, I would love to have that. And then going along with that theme, I
mhm,
would want to have some kind of like butter cookies to go along with it,
mhm,
but they might be dipped in dark chocolate or something because I feel like dark chocolate and butter, they're very rich. They would go very well with like a nice spiced kind of a tea.
uh-huh,
And I don't know if I would do a whole lot of savory options. I'm a big fan of a charcuterie board, so
mm, mhm,
I might do something where there's some kind of like cheese and crackers,
mhm,
maybe some Kalamata olives because that is if we're gonna nosh, like that is the one type of olive, the one and only kind of olive that I actually like. So I might include something like that.
Yeah.
And then I also love the idea of having something that's a little fruity as well.
Uh-huh.
And I've noticed that at least out here, I've been able to get raspberries pretty
Mm.
easily,
Mhm.
and they haven't been horribly expensive.
Uh-huh.
So maybe just a bowl of raspberries, and it could have that with the rest of the tea time.
Yeah.
Um, because that sharp tang is very like it helps cut through a lot of the headiness of the spiced stuff
Mhm.
and the richness of the chocolate and butter cookies.
Yes.
So
You could do
that's
a raspberry tart.
yes. Oh, that would be so good. Oh, and the crust, you could have like a regular like crust, but you could once the crust was done baking, you could put like a layer of like a ganache or something,
Oh,
and
that's a
then
good idea.
you could put the or the raspberries on top, and then it would be so good. Or you could do like a raspberry jam on top, so it would be like
Mhm.
jam,
Mm.
ganache, and then crust.
Wow.
Ooh, girl.
Sounds
That's
like
really
you need to bake this.
I think I do. I think I do. There's something about fruity, chocolatey, buttery. It's just, I don't know. I think that that would make for such a wonderful tea time snack. So, yeah, I love it. I think we got our tea time sorted.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, tea time happens year round, so it's part of
Mhm.
the winter break bakes
That's
that we're
true.
talking about.
We should have a tea time for the rest of the seasons, I think. I think
Yes,
we'll have a spring tea time and a summer tea time and an
yes.
autumn tea time. And now I'm saying tea time too much and it sounds weird. But yeah, I love it. I think we're ready to brave the rest of the winter with these wonderful teas and baked goods, and I think we're gonna try and stay warm as best we can.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna get cozy today and hopefully leave you guys with great ideas of your own.
Yes, yeah, please let us know in the comments if you have any thoughts on how you like to stay warm during the colder times of the year, or let us know how would you set up your own tea time because it's always good to have inspiration for our own tea time. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds awesome. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. We're so glad that you could stop by and sit by the fire with us and hopefully warm up a little bit.
Yes.
So,
Thank you so much for listening. And don't forget, we're on both Spotify and YouTube. So would love for you to share us and like us or subscribe.
yes, please like and subscribe. That's very much appreciated. And let us know if you think of any topics that you want us to touch on. Let us know. We're here for it all.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah, it's exciting.
All right. Well, until next time.
Yeah, we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
That's it for this episode of Kozy Kitchen.
We're so glad you stopped by. We can't wait to see you the next time we sit by the fire. See you next time.
Next time.